This is Lady Myya. I am here with Nolan and Oronde. And we are going to talk today about the gel, you guys. This gel, this is the stuff that I talked to you before in reference to. Brother Nolan was there with me, and Mr. Oronde, he was actually giving us, just some insight as to his perspective of it. So he is actually, I just definitely want to tell you, he is one of the leaders of Justice League, okay? Nolan's Justice League. He is one of the leaders. And so we're just going to have a conversation, you guys. So, Mr. Nolan.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's talk about this jail.
Hey.
Once again.
Hey, I'm so happy to be here. First and foremost, I want to say that again. This thing is really taken off on a whole nother plane, right? When you look at $0 to $400 million in less than 3 years, when you look at the testimonials that we have within that short period of time, and when you look at how it's really giving people's lives back. Next week, I'm going to have a lady by the name of Diane come on. And when she comes on, she's going to tell you what this jail has done for her. We have so many testimonials, not just throughout Justice League, but nationwide. And so where we are right now is somewhere very special in a business that has an exclusive product and that's building momentum. So we're trying to get as many people on this train as much as possible. And because Oronde is one of my best friends, we've been friends since 15 years old, or at least when I was 15. He was much older. I'm 47 right now. I'm not gonna disclose his age right now. But for 32 years, we've been friends, and he was one of the first people that I got on the jail just because of our relationship. And so I know you started telling your story, Oronde, as we're just sitting here talking on this platform. Finish telling your story a little bit about some of the effects that you've had on the jail.
Well, let's just start with I'm 48. Soon to be 49, but and I feel great. And why do I feel great? Because I'm on the jail. I'm on the jail. Hey, what a lot of people don't realize is that, at the age of 30, that's when the aging process actually begins and your body stops producing this crucial, protein known as human growth hormone. So it's important that you replenish that. And I didn't realize what was needed until I needed it. So as I was explaining previously, I had been in a car accident and I was in a lot of pain, and even going to the chiropractor was not reducing the pain. I was in so much pain with my shoulder, I couldn't sleep well. And so after about 30 days of being on the jail, the pain went away, and I haven't had it since. And that's been now a couple of years now since I had it. So definitely, I can't say enough good things about it. And it just, I got better sleep, not only because I could finally go to sleep, but I just felt more rested. I had more vivid dreams. When I woke up, I could actually recall what I had dreamt, and I had more energy. It helped with my lowering my glucose because I'm diabetic. It also helped lower my blood pressure. But with having diabetes, I used to feel lethargic, and this has helped me regain that energy. So there's so many wonderful benefits to it. The list goes on and on. And so I can't see myself ever being off the jail again, just because it's so many amazing benefits, and it just has given me a better quality of life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm really excited because somebody like you that's been on for 2 years, and then you have someone like Myya who's just about to get started, right? As she's getting started to really go through that journey, because it's a microdose, that microdose, little by little, is the safest way to get in your body. That's why we have zero side effects. There is no negative effects with this whole situation. All it does, literally in a nutshell, is create new cells in your body at a rapid rate, because cellular generation declines as we get older. And so now that replenishes everything in our body. So this is what it does. The effects is different for everybody. We literally had somebody, Myya, is funny, we literally had somebody that wanted to prove that it didn't work to us, right? They said that the microdose was not enough to really create an impact. They took blood samples and lab results before the gel and took it after the gel 3 months later, and everything was going in the right direction. Triglycerides was down, like everything was right where it needed to be and on its way to being where it needs to be. And because it's a microdose, the longer you use it, the better it gets. Now, I want to talk just to the guys for a minute, because it does a lot of vain benefits for ladies. Like their eyelashes are longer, their skin is clearer, their cellulite is gone, their eyebrows fill in, their hair gets thicker. You have also now women is back doing this. Everybody is popping. But I'm just trying to tell the dudes, your muscle tone and your libido comes back. Now, I'm telling you, it's a microdose, so don't rub it on today thinking you're going to be a king in the bedroom tonight. Like, it takes a little bit of time to get popping, but when it starts popping, it's very sustainable. So the stuff that we lose as we age, we get back. And that's a great feeling because we're wiser now. We have something to contrast it with. We know what it felt, what it was to feel good. We know what it is to age, and to go back in the other direction is always a good thing. So I'm very excited for the journey that you're about to take, Miss Myya.
I am too, Nolan. I am too. Like, okay, first off, a sister hair don't need to be no thicker, but I'm good if it
Right,
does.
right, right.
It just means, I'm gonna have to get the Holly Berry style back, and we just gonna work at it. We
She
gonna
like Halle Berry, huh? Like,
just
okay.
like keep it cut, keep
Right.
it short, keep it easy, get out. But you know what? Definitely, this helps both. The male and female, and definitely, I'm so intrigued because Mr. Rondé said that it helped him sleep. Like how did that help? Like you weren't getting rest before. Were you restless because of pain? What was that like?
Well, it was mostly the pain, but being in sales and working a lot of hours and things like that, your schedule can be off. And so not always able to go to sleep at the time that you lay down to try to go to sleep. And when they call it like your circadian rhythm is what helps you to go to sleep. If it's off, then you find yourself laying in the bed, even in the dark, wide awake, tossing and turning. So what this does is it balances you back out and helps you to create the serotonin that helps you to go to sleep. And then because you're getting that REM sleep, that rapid eye movement, that's where you really dream, and that's where you really that's when your body is repairing itself, and that's where you're being rejuvenated. And so a lot of times people wake up and they don't feel rested because their body never went into the REM sleep. And
Right.
so this is really going to help, at least it helped for me, to feel more rested when I wake up because I'm finally getting a full night's rest. And that's important.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
the older you get, you probably also feel that you need less sleep. But I find that now I'm able to sleep a full 7 or 8 hours without a problem, whereas before I might sleep like 4 or 5 hours. So and not getting enough sleep also causes weight gain. And so by having a good sleep, it also helped me with kind of toning up without having to do a whole lot of exercise.
Hey,
Right, right.
I want to add to that. Everybody that gets on the jail, one of the first things that they talk about is better rest. Because once you start sleeping better, your body repairs itself during that REM sleep that he's talking about. So even if you're working out, if you're stressed, if you're like, sleep helps all of that, right? And it helps even your metabolism. That's why this thing helps your metabolism as well.
Yeah.
So sleep is very important. That's why they never say, oh, he's in there sleeping like an old man. They say he's in there sleeping like a baby, right? So this literally helps the sleep from that standpoint.
Oh, I just
Oh,
wanted to add
definitely.
something though, Nolan. Just for the women,
Mhm.
the more mature end of the spectrum, who might be going through the change.
Mm.
Many of our people who are on the jail have experienced. Many of the women on the jail have experienced a reduction in the effects of menopause.
Yep, they
Uh,
have.
so yes, so
Absolutely.
they don't get all the mood swings and
I'll take it.
the
Okay.
hot flashes and all the stuff that goes along with menopause. So it's really amazing for that too.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely. And I have people that I can bring on your show to tell you about those testimonials as well.
definitely. I'm on board for that one. I mean, come on, them night sweats is no joke. Just trying to tell you. You wake up and your whole side of the bed is just like drenching. You're sitting there like, this ain't right. I don't
Right.
care what nobody. But you know what? I mean, all the benefits I'm seeing, like, I mean, this is amazing. Just you having your glucose. You said it went down or went
Yeah,
up? It
and
went down.
down.
Okay.
Well, up would be worse.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't
We
want
don't
that.
want that, right? Right.
But like, are you off? Like, do you feel like you're better off than you were when you were on the medications for your diabetes and different things like that?
Absolutely. Yeah. When because that was like I was saying, just regaining energy that I didn't have. I found that I would. One of the things that would be off. I just felt like I wanted to sleep even though I had slept already, and that's
Right.
because the everything was just off. One of the other things that the gel does is it helps to rejuvenate your organs. So a part of that is because your HGH hormone is actually produced in the pituitary gland. That's a part of why, which is part of your endocrine system, is why it's called they call it the master hormone. So it controls a whole lot of things. So when that starts to diminish, and now you're replenishing it, your body just it thanks you for it in all so
Yeah.
many different ways.
Right. Right.
I like that. I like that. Okay, so sir, what did it do to you, Mr. Nolan? What was happening? I know you said you had a lot of
Well,
energy after the
see,
fact, but
you've met me after I got on the jail. I was butt ass ugly before the jail, and now I'm handsome. You see what I'm saying? so, so, so for me, it is literally it has helped increase my muscle tone. I don't have to work out as hard to look as swole as I want to look. Right? Help my weight gain. Because I'm from Chicago. Aronde is from Chicago as well. That's kind of where we're from, and so I'm a big pizza dude. Like, you're not gonna stop me from eating
deep
pizza,
dish.
right? Deep dish, exactly. So when I'm eating pizza and I'm eating all the wrong things, a lot of times to get back in sync, it takes me a couple of weeks because I'm gonna eat it every now and then I got to try to run and do all of those things. I don't really have to do that anymore. My skin is a little bit better. My hair is thicker. My eyesight has improved. I literally went to the eye doctor and got better, or uh, backed off my prescription some because my eyesight went up a little bit, and there's other people who their eyesight has went up. My knee is better. I literally felt like I had cracked my kneecap to where I couldn't put anything hard up against it. I was putting in hardwood floors, never went to the doctor. But now I can balance my whole body on the concrete on my knee, right? And I'm a 47-year-old dude. And my knee was messed up for like 3
You not old, Nolan. You not old.
I'm just letting you know these is not brand new knees like that. I'm like they're not the oldest, but they're not the youngest neither. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
You sure you didn't get a knee replacement?
I'm positive I didn't get a knee replacement. But you know, and more so for what it's done for me, especially right now, is that it gave me a sense of security to know that I literally took my health into my own hands. That I feel like I'm in the best shape that I could be with the schedule that I have, with the kids that I have, just the lifestyle that I have. Because a lot of times our lifestyle dictates how healthy we're going to be. And as you see that this virus is going out there, I'm not saying this is a cure for the virus, but the people that are not making it are the people that have health issues already. If we can squash those health issues, make your body stronger, make sure you're working out, have the energy to work out, whatever the case may be, we now are finding out how important that is. And we're also finding out how important it is to have an extra stream of income with 48 million people that are unemployed, right? So as we're opening up new markets, you literally could be at the ground floor of a brand new product that's very exclusive.
I love that. You know what? I'm super excited, you guys. Like, I'm going to do this every week. Every week, okay? So on one show and the other show, if you want to know about the other show, hey, hit me up. I'm on Facebook. I am Lady Myya. And you know what? Nolan Davis is on Facebook, and so is Orlando. So, you know, Orlando. I'm sorry. Orlando. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. But you guys, let you know that they are available. If you have any questions, they are available to talk to you. And, you know, especially, you know, both of them are just like on top of this, like big time. So, you know, definitely want to give them a shout out. So looking forward to having you guys next week. Yeah.
I want to say something before we go. Just before we go, if you're interested in the product or the business, contact Lady Myya. She's one of the newest members of the Justice League team. So contact her, and she can definitely, we're going to be doing special meetings just for her around the Justice League team. So, man, I want to thank you so much for having us on, Lady Myya, and I look forward to next week.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time and your presence and your looks. You got the looks going. Got the looks going. Work it out.
Thanks to the jail. Thanks to the jail.
Top show, sir. Top show. All right, you guys.
We'll be right back after these messages.
We are aging, and it's inevitable. Around the age of 30, our bodies begin slowing down. This means people typically start experiencing weight gain, low energy, and decreased stamina, to name a few. Human growth hormone, or HGH, is a highly studied, well-documented hormone. And as a person ages, the amount of HGH that their body produces declines. So what can be done? At New You Life, our goal is to help you attain optimal health with quality and innovation working at the cellular level, which is why we bring you Somaderm Gel, a cutting-edge scientific breakthrough utilizing the power of HGH. Somaderm Gel should always be applied to the thin areas of the skin. This ensures that the gel will be transported directly to the bloodstream. Why should you try Somaderm Gel? When taking hormones orally, pills and sprays lose a majority of their potency in the mouth and gut, rendering those products ineffective. And injectable forms of HGH are not only invasive and expensive, but they have the potential to cause serious side effects. Luckily, Somaderm Gel is a low-dose, transdermal form which has been formulated to help you attain optimal health. Don't accept the symptoms of aging. Regain your youth utilizing the power of Somaderm Gel. the ageless standard.
We are back to your free will.
This is Lady Myya. I am here with Alex Minor. Okay, he is the owner, proprietor of the one that's in your face, am Media. Okay, he is super creative in that he has an eye and a vision for videography. And we're just going to ask him a few questions. I pretty much know what is going on now that I did get a chance and an opportunity to speak to him before we started the interview. Thank you so much. Please welcome Mr. Alex.
Hey, what's going on? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here with us. We appreciate your time and your energy, certainly. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump right in. Okay, so when did you feel that you saw videography as being a passion?
Well, it started a few years ago. To give you some background, like I didn't start out in video. I started out more of a musician. During my teen years and college years, I was making music, producing, engineering. I went to school for audio engineering. I went to Full Sail, as well as a couple of years at Hampton University, and was fully intent on being in the music industry, doing all of that stuff. I did some stuff. I went on tour, performed across the country, all that sort of things, but that didn't all work out. And I ended up working at a TV station doing audio. But from there, I hopped into corporate events, and that's where I started doing camera work. Because if you tell enough people in corporate AV that you know how to hold a camera or point a camera, somebody will give you a shot. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I was lying through my teeth, but eventually somebody gave me a shot, and I figured out how to put the camera together. And I didn't get fired on the first gig, so I must have done right. Doing camera for corporate AV, it's not glamorous. It's really boring, actually. And so I was kind of turned off from camera work, but then I bought my own equipment just to do stuff at home, thinking maybe I'll do some YouTube videos, maybe I'll help out my wife, because she was a blogger and doing all this stuff. She used to have a pretty big YouTube channel. And that's when I figured out that video is actually dope. Like it could be really creative, and I started getting into short films and doing that sort of thing. Mini documentaries. I've actually won some awards at film festivals and stuff. And that's, when I got my own gear and started doing my own projects, that's when the passion really started. But along the way, then somewhere along that path, I got introduced to the concept of video for business, and that leads me to where I am now, where I'm running my company, I Am Media. We're a video marketing agency, so we do video production, marketing, but it's all video based. Like I'm not going to get involved with a project if there's not some video element to it, just because that's what's going to keep me, involved and excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
Let me ask you this real quick. When did you start your business?
About 2 years ago is when we started developing it.
2 years ago. Okay, so how did you see basically this helped the people that were like around you, or the people that were asking you the questions in regards to, what you do?
Well, the thing is, as soon as your business starts making video, you are jumping up the ranks in terms of, being more of an exclusive brand. You're doing something that a lot of people aren't doing. So instantly you're leveling your game up in terms of, putting yourself out there, marketing your business. Because the fact is, for some reason, a ton of businesses are not investing in video, whether that's even just, doing their own thing with their cell phones, or hiring people like me to help them out, or just your run-of-the-mill videographer. Even your run-of-the-mill videographers have a lot to offer when it comes to leveling up your video game. But the world is turning into a video-centric world, and I'm not saying that video's the end all be all, because audio is making a comeback too. People are doing podcasts, voice control apps, Alexa, all those things are becoming more prominent. So voice is really big now too. But in terms of marketing, like, people want to see things. It's so easy when you just hear them, or it's just a static picture in your feed, to just tune it out and just go past it. But video, there's an extra element to it. Because it's closer to real life, so it's easier for somebody who's watching a video to get more of a feel for who you are, what type of person you are. They can see all your little micro expressions, that the things that you miss when you're just on a phone call or you're just hearing a radio commercial, and it's just more believable, as long as it's not like Hollywood special effects stuff. But if you're a business owner, or even just a person trying to communicate a message online, you're much more likely to be believed and taken serious if it's done in video form than if it's written, or if it's something that people are just hearing. Because they once they can see your face and see you moving around and see you actually doing something, it becomes more real to them.
That is true. Well, let me ask you this, like what type of advice has been like asked of you the most?
Usually it's, well, how do I start? That's usually the most, or like, I don't know what to talk about, and how do I come up with content? And I tell people, like, first, for how do you start, pull out your cell phone, point it at yourself, and hit record. And that seems like a gross oversimplification, and in some respects it is, but the thing is, you have to practice. Like, you can't expect to be great at video the first time you turn on a camera. Like, the way that I'm talking to you right now, the way that I'm looking in the camera and being very present in this moment, that's not something that I had when I first started. Like, I've been a YouTuber for the past 2.5 years as well, and all that time making videos, being on camera, filming myself, having to watch myself, having to edit myself, it's affected how I present myself on camera. There are a lot of things that I do unconsciously now that are skills that were developed over time. I formed habits when it comes to being on camera. Also, when it comes to, from my musician days, even if I'm on stage presenting, there are ways that I project my voice, ways I talk into a microphone, that they're just habits that I've learned over the years. So that's the thing. Like, if you're going to do video, you got to commit to doing it, and doing it as often as you can, because you got to get good. And you're not going to get good if you don't practice. So even if you make a ton of practice videos and don't put them out, that's fine. Or, if you have a YouTube channel that's only for you and you upload your stuff and maybe you only let friends and family see it, or even if you're the only one watching it, but it's like football players watching game day footage. It's the same principle. You're doing it to analyze yourself and to get better, because when you're in the moment, there are a lot of times that you can't notice your mistakes. You can't notice the things that you're doing wrong. But when you sit back and you watch that footage, but that's also the part that discourages people. They do it the first few times and they sit back and they watch the footage and they're like, oh my God, I'm terrible. Yes, you suck when you first start. Like, you're going to suck. Like, it's very rare to find somebody who can get in front of a camera and they're great right off the bat. Like, it's like, expecting to fall in love the first time, or expecting a girl to fall in love with you the first time she sees you. Bro, it's probably not going to happen. But if you put the time in, if you actually build a relationship with her, maybe she'll start feeling a little bit differently about you. It's the same thing with your camera. You got to build a relationship with it. You got to get used to it. You got to not be afraid to look it in the face. You got to learn where the face is, because most people, when they're filming with their cell phones, they're looking at themselves on the screen, and so it's looking like this. They're looking off to the left or the right. It's because they're not looking in the lens of the camera, which is where you need to look to make it look like you're looking directly at the person you're communicating with. And that's another part of the skill set that you learn from practicing doing video. And when I'm shooting people, I have to coach them too. It's like, yo, look straight down the lens. imagine the center of the lens is my face or my eyeballs. Like that's where you're looking. And it's like you have to practice, you have to get good, or you have to hire somebody like me who can coach you through the process. If you're trying to shortcut it, but if you're trying to do it yourself, because there's a lot of value in done for yourself video. Some of the best Facebook ads I've ever seen have been shot on a cell phone, somebody driving in their car, but their message is what resonated. It's really all about the content. And I mean, content takes many forms, but I just believe video is probably the most powerful one of all.
Yes, no, I agree with you. You know what? Let me ask you this. Like, what type of projects, like, do you feel are, like, more sought after? Like, when a person is actually doing the, I guess, recording or even trying to get their content out there?
I tell people that make sure that you're doing content that is useful, whatever form that is. And a lot of times that's informational type content or tutorial type content. Basically, this is kind of part of my spiel that I give, so excuse me if this sounds rehearsed, but people get on social media and not just social media, but the internet in general, typically for two reasons. They either want to be entertained because they're trying to get away from whatever it is they're going through for a minute, or they want to be educated. They want to be educated. They're looking for information on a certain topic. So those are the two main reasons that you will find somebody looking on YouTube, Facebook, whatever it is. And so if you can do one of those two things, you can build an audience. If you can do both of those things at the same time, you're almost guaranteed to build an audience as long as you do it consistently.
And that is very true. That Lord knows it is very true. I'm doing as much as I can to get my content out there, so I can only appreciate what you just said, because it does help like a lot. Okay, so like, are you willing to collaborate? If you have, done in the past, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, it depends on what people mean by collaborate. People have different definitions. I'm definitely open to having conversations and figuring out if there's something that, I can rock with, I can vibe with. Some of my collaborations are just like this, doing podcasts, having discussions, because one of the best places to get content, and this is a pro tip for everybody who's thinking that they can't generate content, hop on a Zoom call with somebody, talk business for 30 minutes, for an hour. You will say something smart as long as both of you are reasonably intelligent. So if you're discussing whatever your area of expertise, whatever your area of business is, have a discussion with another person who is well versed in your area of expertise or in your type of business. Have a conversation on Zoom for a half hour, an hour. You are guaranteed to say at least one smart thing in that time span. And that's content right there. Like, people think that content has to be something that you sit down and ponder over and labor over. If you follow me on LinkedIn, and a lot of my content comes out on LinkedIn, I put out a ton of content on LinkedIn, you will see that many of the clips that I put up are snippets from conversations like this where I managed to say something dope, and the reason I do that is because I don't have to work for it. I hit record, we have a good conversation, I love talking to people, so I just have a good time for an hour, and then I go back through what we did, and there's at least 2, 3, sometimes 4 or 5 clips that I can get out of a conversation, and just using those clips has gotten me thousands of views.
Good. See, that works. That works completely. So, I mean, okay. So, yeah, the collaborations are definitely something that I would love to do at some point, and I do feel like they're very important, because it's like it's more interesting when you have 2 clear-minded people, or 3 or 4 or whatever, and you have all different types of feelings, or not even just feelings, just know-how or experiences and different things like that. And it just makes it for a more interesting conversation to have, and people to be more interested in hearing. So I totally agree with you there. So, like, what is in a day of you doing your recordings?
Well, I'm not as consistent as I should be. But I do, in the past few months especially, I've been doing more and more podcasts. So like I said, I've been pulling a lot of material from that just because it's easy. But then it's also, I don't know if you can see it in the background. I got a whiteboard back there with a ton of video ideas on it, to-do lists, things like that. And so I just keep a running tab. If you want to be producing content, like keep a notebook with you or have an app on your phone, whether it's a voice recording app or a notes app or whatever it is, just something where you can keep track of all the content ideas that might pass you by. And the other thing is, like, you don't always have to you don't always have to have original ideas for content. Like, ain't nothing new under the sun. So feel free to get inspired to straight up jack people for content. Like, I had a video a few months ago where the entire video was based on somebody else's video, and like a clip from their video was in my video because I was giving them props and recognition that the information I was talking about came from them. But it was like it did very well for me, but the whole content of the video was based on somebody else's content, but people still appreciate it because they didn't know about it,
Right. That's true.
So I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But so I try to pump out at least 3 pieces of content per week for LinkedIn. I really want to be doing a lot more, but COVID-19, quarantine, I got 2 young kids, plus I've been trying to get out as much as I can and serve my clients, pick up new clients. And so I can't just sit in the studio much as I would like to, but that's what being in business for yourself is like.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I think it's more of a strain for the people that have the brick and mortar as opposed to the ones that are more virtual. They're working overtime just to keep up, with everyone that's home, that's able to see that, oh, well, all I got to do is click this button, click that button, and it comes to me. So, I mean, that makes complete sense, but I only hope that everything gets better for you, extremely.
I mean, it hasn't been all bad. And I mean, things have definitely picked up in the last month or so, but I'm seeing, my wife works in the medical industry, so I'm seeing I'm hearing secondhand all these reports about, the COVID numbers and everything. And so I think some areas, Florida especially, is about to shut down again.
Yeah, no, I know. I know. Okay, so where do you want your business goals to be? What is the goal?
I mean, my goals, I think, are pretty modest. I'd like to have a small team, anywhere from because right now it's really just me. I have a few freelancers that I hire from time to time for shoots and editing and things like that. But for the most part, it's just me. But I'd like to build a small team, maybe between somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 to 10 people. Just because you can do a lot with that. You can build a fairly substantial business with just that, depending on your business model. And I'm not, I'm not greedy. I'm kind of ambitious, but not too ambitious. I want to bring home $200,000 a year. That's kind of where I want to be, because I know for how we live and how I want to live, $200,000 a year is plenty.
Yes.
And I don't need to have excessive amounts of anything. I just want to not have to worry so much.
Yeah.
So if I can bring home $200,000 a year and pay a staff of people, I think that would be a $500,000 revenue per year. So that's not extreme in the business world.
No, not at all. Not at all. Wow. Okay. So did you you told us when you started the business and everything, do you feel is that just kind of be where you are, that you feel you could grow, or do you want to kind of like open yourself up to more?
I mean, I'm definitely at a stage right now where I'm trying to grow. I feel like I feel like my business is still in the baby stages. Like I've got I've got a few good clients. I'm looking for more, a few good repeat clients. There are a lot of one-off projects. Uh, but I got a few good repeat clients. I'm trying to build to the point where I have a steady, crop of recurring clientele. Um, but I mean, I'm open to growing, even past that point that I talked about, like, between 4 or 5, 10 employees. But I'm not sure that me personally, I would want a whole lot more than that. Um, I'm the type of person who I don't leadership is not comfortable for me. Uh, I don't I don't really want to be in charge of a ton of people. Uh, just because of everything that's involved. But I mean, also good leadership, demands delegating properly, um, and never been great at that. Trying to learn and get better. So I feel like the only way for me to grow past that would be to get really, really good at delegation and hiring the right people. And those are skills you got to learn over time. So I'm open to it, but I would really have to get the right people around me to make that happen, because experience has shown me repeatedly that you can't do it all on your own.
No, you cannot, sir. Not in that business. That business, it's difficult. It's very strenuous. And like you said, that delegation is so big, especially when you have people that are willing to just like take that chance, and when you take that chance, you want that thing to be perfect so that they can go forth and tell other people, oh man, it was just wonderful dealing with this guy. He was on point every time. He was in my mind before I was in my mind, kind of situation. And
Right.
you want that. Yeah. But I can see that. I can see you doing that. So that would be something great for you. Completely. Yay.
Yeah, I mean, we gonna do our best to make it happen. Time will tell. Just a whole lot of stuff is up in the air right now. So it's kind of it's I've never been one for planning too far out, just because my life has I don't have anything approaching a regular schedule. Haven't for at least the past 8, 9, 10 years, just because of the nature of the businesses I've been in. Because in addition to doing, well, like I said, I was in corporate events before, starting this company, and I've still been doing corporate events right up until COVID-19. And so that involved a lot of traveling, and every day was different. So, it's been 10 years since I had anything approaching a regular schedule.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, and it's hard to build something without those routines and a solid base like that. So we'll see what happens, because, even being home for 4 or 5 months, I still don't have a regular schedule because kids. Yeah, they just.
You got to be on a regular schedule so you can put the kids on a regular schedule.
I've tried. Nobody listens to me. They love daddy, but they don't listen to daddy.
That's understandable. Well, if there is anything else you would like to tell my Mayan tribe, the floor is yours.
I said this on another podcast the other day, and it's something I really believe in, and I want everybody to, at least test it out. The best thing that you can do in your life is to try. Like if you've got an idea, if you've got a passion, if you think that you can make something happen, the best thing for you to do is to try, because how else are you going to know? Like when I left having a full-time job and went to freelancing full-time, that was scary. But even with all the ups and downs, the times where I didn't know how I was going to make rent, all of that, it was the best decision I made in my life. And everything that I was taught growing up would have told me to not do that.
Right. Exactly.
But taking that chance, opened tons of doors and tons of opportunity. And every big chance that I've taken along the way on that journey has opened up more opportunity and just put me in, I think, a better position in life. You know, even with all the uncertainty of COVID-19, you know, I lost a bunch of business because of gig cancellations and things like that. Even with all of that, I wouldn't trade it in for a day job.
Right.
I've known too much freedom. I've known too much opportunity. I've seen too much of the possibilities that life has to go back. And that's not to say that everybody who's out there needs to run out and try to start a business, because it's not for everybody. But if there is something that you are passionate about and something that you think, oh, maybe I can make this happen, like, try. You know, don't shoot yourself in the foot doing it, but do your best to give yourself the chance to make it work.
You need that. You know, like, I think the whole focal point, or I know the focal point of me doing what I do and doing the interviews and having the time with another person just to show that, you know what, this person came from this, you know, and stepped out, just taking risk. You know, taking risk is so big, and it's so, like, not underscored anymore, because it's like everybody's like, well, you know, but I need the money now. Yeah, everybody needs the money now, but there's a greater reward that can be your own schedule, your own money, your own time, that is going to be worth more in the future as opposed to what you're doing now. And maybe you might get like a quarter raise, a 50-cent raise, maybe a 75-cent raise. Oh, hey, if you top tier, you get that dollar raise. Oh, I'm good now. Are you really? No, you're not. And so having your own business, yes, it's hard. It's tiring. I think I got maybe 10 hours of sleep through this whole week. Oh, well, I'm okay.
I am right there with you.
But I think it's well worth it, because, like, I'm reaching for a goal. I'm reaching for, you know, just trying to get people to understand it doesn't have to be as bad as you make it out to be. Or maybe, yeah, it's horrible, but what you gonna do about it?
Exactly.
So
control of your life.
Exactly. And so this is why I do what I do. Hey, let me highlight someone else so you can see it's doable. It's something doable. They started, this happened. You know, they were on a bus and they were talking to somebody and had a whole conversation, and you knew something about it, and they said, oh, you're smart. And that person decided to do and take on a business.
It can happen.
You have the tools. Go ahead.
No, I totally agree with that. You just got to look for the opportunities in life and be open to them. You know, very few people are going to have things handed to them. And my personal experience has shown me that very few people are going to get to where they truly want to be in life without making some kind of leap. You know, everybody who I know who has gotten to exactly where they said they wanted to go and where they wanted to be has had to go out and make it happen on their own. Not saying they never built a team or they never worked with anybody, but nobody gave them the keys. You know, they had to go out and work and bleed and sweat and claw their way to their goals.
Yes. It's exhausting, but you gotta do it. You know, that's your passion. That's what you'll run more on empty than you will on full. I don't know why that is, but it's true. It's like
hunger is a good motivator.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Okay, we need to have this conversation on a radio show. I'm gonna work this out. Okay, we're gonna get that together, certainly. But I definitely, like, I understand you. I definitely do, because it's like, I think you sound so familiar when it comes to people that I have talked to. You know, when it comes to like, well, you know, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, but when you think bigger, even if you, like you said, you wanted to be comfortable, and oh God, I said that for years. I said that for years. Oh, I just want to be comfortable. I just want to be comfortable. Yeah, comfortability did not work for me. It didn't, because it was just like, well, dang, what else can I do? What else can I do? What else can I do? And then it was just not enough. And then nothing was. And then it just got to the point where it was just like, I couldn't even be still long enough to just do the minimum. It didn't sit right with me. It was just like messing with me. And I'm like, my head was going all over the place. Like, okay, well, maybe if I go here and then go there and then do this and do that. No, it didn't do it. But I feel like you're gonna make it. You're gonna be okay, because like I know people. Shoot me a holler. I ain't got no problem. I know people. I'm not trying to toot my own horn by no means, but I will say I have been networking like a lunatic. Like a lunatic. I will jump in anybody's group. I will talk about all kinds of things, and they'll be like, oh yeah, well, me, and I'm doing da 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 da. But I mean, that's the best form of flattery, really.
Yeah, if you know anybody in your Orlando area looking to level up their video marketing, have them holler at me. We are working.
Yes, no, hey, you got the whole school there, sir. Really? This is what we do? We got the whole school. But yeah, no, certainly, definitely. I would love to. Okay, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm definitely re-inviting you, Mr. Alex, to any and every platform that I do have, because having these conversations are crucial, are extremely crucial. And I thank you so much for your time and your energy. What's that?
I said thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. I know it took us a while, and schedules happen. But thank you so much for joining me. This is Lady Myya. You guys, thank you so much. Please just be good to yourselves. Just take care of yourself, take care of others, and we'll just be fine. And it'll just be okay. And think about things that you want in your life. Think about how you want to be, because a lot of times we're just content with okay. And why are we just content with okay when we have so many tools to be better than okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. Thank you so much. This is Lady Myya. You guys, I hope you truly enjoyed the talk that I did get a chance to have with Alex Minor, and he is such a cool dude. Like, he really is. And I hope you guys enjoyed everything that was said, and just the encouragement that he gave as well. I really hope that you guys are taking heed, to the things that are being said by people that have taken a chance to grow. Not just like in a perspective of, like physically. I'm not saying that. I'm saying mentally, just having a mindset different, being open to the possibility of having a more advanced mindset. I don't think there's no harm in that. It's free. Anybody can do it at any given time. All I'm saying is this: he gave a whole lot of different things, and I'm trying to get there with the talking to you. The mindset. It's doable. Why not? I mean, there's books about it. There's videos about it. There's movies about it. Why not? Like, I mean, you have really nothing to lose. Actually, you can just sit down and put a game plan together and actually get to the point to where you might be able to find something no one else had. Invent something everybody wants to see. Even to the point of learning, teaching, but more importantly, caring. Caring about people and being successful in what you do. I'm telling you, it's nothing like it. It really isn't. Like, I love getting a chance and an opportunity to always talk to you. I love the fact that I get to find out what you guys like. I want to make you guys like me. No harm in that. Not for the way that you may think. It's not that I have to have all the attention. It's not that, I am Lady Myya, the great and powerful. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it for this. I want to reach you to think differently. I want to reach you to give you an opportunity and a chance to be, if not better for you, better for those around you. I tend to care too much, I guess. I try not to. Who am I telling and lying to? I can't help myself. I really can't. I try. I just want everybody to be happy. And I know you can't make everybody happy all the time. Hell, I can halfway make it to most of the time. Okay? But if I can just get that one, the special one, the diamond in the rough. Some people get that. Got kids. Or younger. If you could reach out to me, okay, do me this solid. I need a response here, okay? I'm looking for 3 individuals, okay? I'm going to give you my email. This goes directly to my phone, all my phones and devices and everything that's in front of me almost 24/7. Email me. Tell me if you're hearing this. Tell me if this is helpful. Or at the same time, tell me what is not so helpful. What can I change? What can I do? What would you like to see? Because, I mean, everybody has their own agenda. Everybody has their own mindset. Granted. It is a Lady Myya show. But at the same time, I'm giving you a chance. And you know what? I might even put you on the show. That's if you would like to be on the show and you have something intelligent to say, and we can have a conversation and you can debate with me in regards to the show. Okay? So here it is, you guys. My email address is the number 1 lady. Myya is MYYA @gmail.com. Okay? Once again, that is 1, the number, of course. Lady, we all know how to spell lady, LADY. Myya, MYYA. Okay? @gmail.com. Okay, so send it to me. Tell me that you heard the show. And you have something that you want to say. You want to say something in retrospect to what I'm asking, the ears that are hearing this, let me know what you think. What's going on in your brain? What's going on in your neck of the woods? You know, we can all do this thing together. Why not? I think it'll be fun, you know? And, you know, who knows? You may have a better understanding of why I'm doing what I'm doing. And then at the same time, you may even change my mind on something. So I'm giving you this opportunity. Go ahead, email me. Once again, it is number 1, Lady Myya, MYYA @gmail.com.